Welcome to the channel, Painting the Batoot here with another mechanic task in Tarkov. This is another gunsmith task, and it's part 7 where you have to modify an M4A1. And as you can see, I have built a gun because I can turn it in. If I go to turn it in, I actually have two separate guns, and I can pick either one. That will do. And you notice there's some differences in the foregrip that I picked. The mag, you could use either one of the 60 round mags for this gun. I've picked a different scope. Both of them will reach out to the required 800 meters. And the pistol grip has been changed. So let's go through this and see what you need. Of course, you need your M4. It wants a silencer. Now, you could play around and maybe find a silencer that works, but I found the best one is the Silence Co. One, and I'll show you. It's available from Peacekeeper. Um, it's the best silencer for this task. You need a 60 round mag, and I've shown you that I can build it with either one of the 60 round mags. But the ergonomics must be above 47 and above, actually. The recoil must be lower than 300, and the weight cannot be any more than 3.8 kilograms. So that is something a little new for some of these um, gunsmith tasks. Normally they don't care too much about weight, but in this case, weight is going to be a contributing factor to the builds. And finally, it's 800 meter sight. That just means no red dot. You actually have to do, you have to use like a short range scope. Okay, so let's go to Peacekeeper here first of all and trading. So where can you get some of the materials here? Here is the KAC vertical foregrip you can use. Why use it? It's got a +7 ergonomics, so that's helpful. Here's the Silence Co. Hybrid 46 multi-caliber sound suppressor, and why I picked this, its ergonomic hit is only -17, so it pulls it down 17 points. But this is one of the lighter silencers at only 0.49 kilograms. So I'll show you in a minute why that is important, I should say. Okay, and it does need this little device here, which doesn't impact anything, but you need it to screw it onto the barrel. Of course, if you really want to be adventurous, you can buy or trade for the M4. They're available on the flea market. 653 US dollars is roughly 92K rubles. So if you can find one that is at least 60% on the flea market at a cheap price, then you can grab it that way. But really, the easiest way to do it for me, in my mind, is this trade from Peacekeeper. So for two of these prokill medallions, you can get this gun with all these mods. The prokills are between 60 and 70K on the flea. I'll show you. So there's prokill. So right now, the price goes up and down on this. So right now, you could grab two of these, and for 120,000 rubles, you would have a highly modded already M4. You can strip off a lot of the parts here. You can strip off this scope because it won't really suit the build. You can take off the grip. You can take the magazine. You can take this little angled sight or red dot, and you can take off this laser device and sell them. And when you do that, you can get roughly 40K for selling them. If you just sell them to mechanic, if you put them on the flea, you probably could get more and recover more of that original price, so that it's actually one of the cheapest ways to get the gun. The reason to do it is it comes with the right stock, because if you buy the standard M4 off Peacekeeper, you have to replace its stock with one of these or something else. It has a nice foregrip that will meet the requirements. There are some better, but right now, where I am in the game, I don't have access to that much better. I can trade for this using two CPUs. Um, you know, why bother? Why bother when you have everything there that you need? So I would recommend highly just go get the pro kills. That now this might cause the pro kill price to skyrocket, but if if it's all available, do that. If you go to Peacekeeper level 3, he has a trade, I think, for a whiskey and a vodka. Again, you can buy the whiskey and the vodka, or you can craft it. But that's what I did, and I did it twice just to show you two different examples. Both of these guns were from the prokill. So the first thing I did, if you have a look, why did I go to the Hybrid 46, the Silence Co? Let's pull that there, and this is the NT4, which actually comes on the gun with the prokill. So remember, we have a weight restriction, so this is only 0.49 kilograms, whereas this is 0.68. The recoil reduction is marginally better on this, but the ergo penalty is minus 21, minus 17. So you would have to compensate for the greater weight. You would get a slight bonus with the recoil, and you'd have to compensate for the decreased or the bigger hit on your ergonomics. So that's why I basically took the silencer that came with the prokill trade and sold it, and then went to Peacekeeper as I showed you and bought this silencer. Okay, so you'll see both of these builds I'm running that silencer. What else? Well, it says that it wants a 60 round mag, and as you can see, I'm using, to complete this task, I've built with either one. So it is not necessarily important which ones you do, although it will affect sort of the other components. But let's have a look at the mags here, and you can see the comparison and what you have to deal with. So there's the two mags. Hide that there. So both of them are 60 rounds, which meet the requirements, but again, you have to look at the specs. This one, because I think it's aluminum, is only 0.18, so it is lighter. So that is why this worked on this build. This one is 0.58, so you'd have to compensate if you use it on this gun by reducing the weight as much as possible. And I did that by using a cutout foregrip and a very light scope, even though this scope has -3 ergo, whereas the ACOG has only -2. But you're going to have to compensate. Ergonomics hit on this one is -16 and it's -18. So this actually helps you with your ergo a bit. So which one of these two stocks you choose will be dependent on where you are in your build, whether you need ergo points or you need weight reduction. You'll have to find these in raid if you're early on in the game. Otherwise, they're on the flea eventually. You can actually also barter for these later on. Okay, so that is the mags. Again, let's go look at the scope. So in the scopes here, there's the one scope and there is the other scope. So I'll close that. So here are my, the reason the scope looks this way, there's the scope there. Yeah, you need a little mount to put it on, whereas this one will go directly on. But you see here the weight, it's only marginally less, but it's 0.35 kilograms. This is 0.39. So if you use this one, there's a bigger hit to the ergonomics, and you do, however, save a tiny bit of weight. So that's your trade-off position on these two. Now the other thing is, you notice the stock is exactly the same, so it's a stock with the little pad on it to get you as the most recoil reduction as possible. But there are some other stocks you can try. This stock here would actually fit. It's plus 13 ergonomics and 29 recoil, whereas this stock here, let's look at it. It's -30 plus 8. So you could, in fact, let me just see. I'm going to switch it for a second. Let's take this here, and so I'm still above 57. I'm still a lot below the weight, and notice I still have my check mark. So that's the kind of things you can do. You can screw around a bit with your different stocks, because stocks affect recoil and also ergonomics. I'm going to switch that back because I actually want this stock for another task, so I am not going to trade it in with that because I can buy these other. I can buy this one fairly easy. But this is a stock that comes with the prokill trade, and it's good enough. If you do find that you need maybe the odd ergonomic point increase, even though the recoil is slightly lower, you can get more ergonomics by switching to the GL shock. Um, yeah, so let's have a look at the other thing here. It's just kind of important, which is the pistol grip. So pistol grips, the only thing pistol grips affect is ergonomics. They don't affect recoil whatsoever. So we got two different ones here. And this has, you're looking at ergonomics. You're also looking at weight. So this is 0.05, where this is 0.08. So this is actually a slightly lighter one here with a worse ergonomics. So if you need to boost the ergonomics, you go with a better handle. You just have to be careful of the weight. So all in all, when you're doing this, you go down and you look at your options. You keep this little screen open, and you can see how it's going to affect. So I could go to that one. There's a number of different options here. As long as this is above 47 and the weight does not go above 3.8, so I can use that. There's lots of options, but I typically, right now, I'm just going with the sort of the cheapest version that does it, and that's the this. I have lots of them, and this is the standard grip you get with the prokill trade, so that's good enough to complete it. So the final component to worry about is the foregrip. And I've got two different ones, radically different ones here, that are a possibility. So I wanted lightweight. So you'll see the Fortis is fairly lightweight compared to some of the other foregrips. This is actually lighter weight, but all it does is boost your ergonomics. It doesn't help the recoil. If you're to a point where like this gives you a +8, this gives you a +7. So if you just wanted to shave a few points of weight off and you had enough recoil already with all your stock options and whatever, then you could just go with this one here. It's not, you lose 1 point of ergonomics, but you get the lighter weight. So both these guns meet the requirements, as I said. You see that unlike some of the videos, you'll see they all say you have to use this aluminum mag. I'm showing you proof right now that you don't. I'm showing you that that prokill trade, the gun is fairly easy to mod. You just take off this silencer and replace it with the multi-caliber one, and you have options of different mini scopes that sight out to 800 meters. You have options for the pistol grip. You have options for the foregrip. So yeah, um, hopefully that'll help you. I'll just do one final check off through this. So again, remember I upgraded the charging handle to Raptor for 1 point of ergo. I also added the front sight and the rear sight. Again, each of these give you 1 point of ergo. I went with the hybrid silencer available from Peacekeeper to have reduced weight and good recoil. The shift also has some decent ergonomics, and it's light because this mag's a bit heavier, so I had to compensate for it. The pistol grip really is only weight and ergonomics, and so I was able to use virtually any pistol grip. The gun came with this foregrip here. When I did the prokill trade, you can buy it, but I just figured this is easier than buying a stock M4 from mechanic and going through having to buy this, having to buy, all the other thing. Oh, the only other thing I would say is This is a carbine stock, straight carbine stock. There is an advanced buffer tube you can buy that will actually give you a couple more points of reduced recoil. So if you're getting desperate, go to the advanced buffer tube. But there you have it. Trying to show you, how to, rather than just copying exactly what I'm doing, I'm trying to go through the steps that you need to be concerned about when you're doing this gunsmith task, and all of them. It's weight, it's ergonomics, it's the combination of these two. The only other thing is some of them say size, which means fold. A lot of these weapons will actually fold, like this one is. So it will be in the task that it can only be 4 cells big. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get it, and it's unfolded. It takes up like 6. So you fold it, and there's your 4. So that's how you do these tasks. Hopefully you found this helpful, and good luck with the game.